Yeah. So fun fact, doesn't really surprise me, but I don't really care at all because I like my players to be challenged. I like them to be battled. I like them to be tested down the line of the season. So recently, Hendon Hooker has emerged as the Heisman favorite, according to sports books, over CJ Stroud. And although we will know the winner of the Heisman this Saturday when Tennessee and Georgia play, if Tennessee beats Georgia, Hendon Hooker has won the Heisman. Ship it up, give it to him. He has won the Heisman if Tennessee beats Georgia this Saturday. If they don't, it's still not guaranteed CJ will win, but it's CJ's to lose. And it pretty much just comes down to Ohio State needs to beat Michigan. So this is the odds-on likely thing. What's going to happen? If Tennessee loses to Georgia and Ohio State beats Michigan, then CJ Stroud will win the Heisman Trophy. That is it. That's it. Done with the case. That's all. However, if Tennessee beats Georgia, Hendon Hooker wins the Heisman, and that Ohio State-Michigan game does not matter. That Ohio State-Michigan game will influence who else is at the Heisman ceremony next to Hendon Hooker when he wins the award. If Michigan wins that game, then Blake Corum is 100% there. And if Ohio State wins, maybe Blake Corum isn't. I think CJ Stroud will be there no matter what. But
Bryce Young,
if Tennessee beats Georgia, the Ohio State-Michigan game, in terms of the Heisman watch, is literally just there to determine will Blake Corum be there or not. That's what that game is for. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode number 62. Even number, even day, even timing.
That's technically 2 months worth of episodes every day.
Of 31-day months, yes. When we're talking, which months are back-to-back 31 days? Trivia question.
October.
I'm not sure if November has it.
November does not.
Yeah.
Does not.
I feel like Thanksgiving's on, I know it's the last Thursday or whatever the fuck, fourth Thursday.
January and
But
December.
I always feel like it's on the 27th. I always feel like Thanksgiving's the 27th and it's over on the 30th.
January and December?
Ooh.
Yeah, January and December.
I think that might be the only one. Now that's a trivia question some people got to think about. But yeah, it's the Waterboy analytics you get. But yeah, what a day. We're recording this on Tuesday. It's going up on Thursday, but today has been
There's been a lot of
eventful day.
Today.
Today, we're just gonna be talking about Tuesday, November 1st. That's what this episode is about. So all right. First things first, we're gonna be diving into some college football, Everett. Okay. Today, the college football rankings came out. Everett, I know, you are affiliated with a program who was ranked in the top 25 by the College Football Playoff Committee. And fun fact, why don't you let the audience know right now, you are not aware of the full 25. You only know 4 team rankings of this top 25.
I was informed. I was at dinner. I was in class, actually, when Grant texted me asking if I had seen the list of the playoff committee's rankings. And as I was in class, I had not seen them yet. So he said, don't look at it. Obviously, I knew that Tulane was ranked 19th because I'm on the team. I work for the team. And no, I'm on the team. And
scout team linebacker.
Should have seen me the other day, man. Me and Chad were really getting into it. But
making plays.
Yeah, so obviously I knew about Tulane. I know about our UCF, the other teams in the AAC. And I saw Tennessee, but outside of that, I have not seen any team, as I was informed, not to see them if I can make it happen. So I am unaware of what the rankings are.
So I'm just going to go real quick. Just going to tell you all the teams in order. I'm not going to be giving the numbers. I'm just going to tell you the team names, okay? Yeah. And you can come back and ask me, wait, what the fuck? What is that team ranked again? Okay,
we're going from 1 through. We're going through 1. Sorry,
1 to 25. Yeah. 1 Tennessee, 2 Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Alabama, TCU, Oregon, USC, LSU, Ole Miss, UCLA, Kansas State, Utah, Penn State, Illinois, North Carolina, Oklahoma State, Tulane, Syracuse, Wake Forest, NC State, Oregon State, Texas, UCF.
Hold on. Wait.
Like real quick,
Hold
I'll
on.
go
Wait
back
a
and
second. Hold
say
on.
the 1 through 6 again, and I'll say
Okay.
it with the numbers this time so it really sinks in. 1 Tennessee, 2 Ohio State, 3 Georgia, 4 Clemson, 5 Michigan, 6 Alabama. Everett, initial reactions to this poll. Give me your thoughts.
I understand.
More so the 4 through 6 than the 1 through 3.
I understand.
Even though the 1 through 3 is a shock to a lot of people.
I understand. I understand that we already have Tennessee and Georgia both in the SEC, both in 1 through 4. The fact that Clemson is sitting there at 4 really surprises me that they're there over both Michigan and Alabama. I understand Clemson's been playing well, but it really doesn't make sense to me considering the lopsided affairs that they've had recently. They've had to have Cade Klubnik come in and take back over a game to win it. They've had some.
Well, he didn't necessarily take over that game, but yes,
had to come in to save
DJ
the game.
Wasn't
from
going to win
DJ.
that game. Yes.
So I
get what you mean.
I really don't understand it. Bama's had 1 loss this year. Obviously, they almost lost to A&M, but Jimbo always gets them. And the 1 loss they had was to Tennessee. So I'm kind of surprised by that. Michigan, I thought honestly would be ranked. I gave out my ranking. I thought Michigan would be ranked above Ohio State just because of the way that's how I thought the committee was going to be. But I am surprised that Ohio State.
I wasn't sure about that. The committee loves Ohio State.
I am
tell you,
surprised.
they love Ohio State, and they don't like Michigan.
I am surprised
they
Ohio
like Michigan
State.
a lot, but not as much as Ohio State. Is what
I'm surprised Ohio State is on there and Michigan is not. I knew Ohio State would be on there, but I thought they would be on there as a tandem.
So my first thing when I was watching it live and sawing it when they were counting down. So they were going from 6 up to 1. So when I saw the 6 Alabama, I was a little bit shocked. Not really, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they put Clemson at 6 is what I was thinking.
However, think Clemson should be in the top 6. I do not think that they should be in the playoffs right now.
No, me neither. But I'm going to get to that. But 6, when I saw 6 Alabama, I was a little bit surprised, but I was like, you know what? The committee might actually be doing something right. Okay. And then the 5 seed. So I saw the Michigan pop up and I was like, oh, wow. So I guess they really said, Michigan, fuck off for your shitty out of conference scheduling this year. Because remember, they played Hawaii, Connecticut, like they played legitimate not even football programs. Okay, that was their non-conference schedule. And in my opinion, when I saw that Michigan 5, the only thing I could think of was the committee sent a message to Michigan and like their athletic director, who's like set up the schedule, and literally told them, "Fuck off, you're not good enough to just get that bye." However, we'll be into Ohio State's ranking, who does get that bye, which makes me very happy. Although yeah, Notre Dame sucks, but what? It's Ohio State's fault that Brian Kelly left the year before and shit. Like, come on, okay? They scheduled this game like 7 years ago against Notre Dame. How are they going to know Notre Dame is going to be ass this year? They thought they were going to be good. Anyway, regardless, Clemson 4. So when I saw Michigan 5, I knew Clemson was going to be 4. Okay. But I was thinking, okay, we're rewarding resume here. We are rewarding, like who you've played, like all that shit. And so because Oregon's the 8 seed and Penn State is the 15 seed, I assumed Ohio State would have been 3 because just based on the Michigan Clemson picks and how it seemed to me, Clemson got that nod over Michigan because they have the ranked wins and because Michigan had a shitty non-conference
I'm going to be honest. After that 1 seed, assuming Tennessee is going to win versus Georgia this weekend, after that 1 seed, I do
just remember, I had no idea who the 1, 2, 3 was.
No, I know, but I'm saying, I'm looking at it now. those 2 through 4 teams, I think, are all very similar. I think if Georgia loses this weekend, though, they're going to drop out, and I think Bama's going to go in. And we'll see
Two
what
through
happens.
four as in, well, I haven't told you. Well, 2 through 4 as in Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson are very similar.
I think, well, actually, I guess more so Georgia and Ohio State. I think that those two are very similar in the way that they're ranked. Clemson, I don't think belongs there. I've said that, but I think that those two are
No,
very
yeah, like in my opinion, I'm not sure if Michigan's that far behind Georgia and Ohio State. Like, to be completely honest, but I do think there are right now 5 teams that go in a national championship, which is for me is kind of crazy because I feel like usually we can narrow it down to like two or three.
Like you kind of know the 2 that are going to be in the championship game.
Like I feel like we can kind of narrow it down at least to 2 winners. But I mean,
like I would say the last time we had multiple winners, that possible winners, I think was probably that 2020 the year Trevor Lawrence played?
No, not 2020. That's when my Ohio State boys got boat raced by Bama. Not that
no,
year.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when we got into that, going into the championship game, like knowing the teams that were going to be in the championship game, we didn't know the 2 specifically because Clemson and Ohio State were playing.
No, yeah, yeah, actually, yes, but everybody knew Bama was a notch ahead. But I get what you mean in terms of at least who's going to make it this far this year. I think there's 5 teams that could legitimately win the national championship. And I think the last time you could say that might have been the very first college football playoff in 2014. I think that might have been the last time it was such a deep field with Alabama, Marcus Mariota, Oregon, Jameis Florida State didn't count. Jameis Florida State's the equivalent of Clemson in this scenario, who's in the college football playoff and shouldn't be. And then Ohio State, and then I give credit to TCU and Baylor that year too. They were both really good teams.
I know we were just talking. I know we're talking about the top 6 right now, but I do want to add.
No, we're done. But yeah,
I want to add
Georgia the 3 or go on.
The fact that LSU is ranked 10 is incredibly disrespectful to every other team that's in that region.
I was shocked
because LSU, not only did they start horrifically bad with Brian Kelly, the fact that they're that, like, I don't think that they're all that. Like, they are definitely not the 10th best. What's number 9 right now? What's 9 and what's 11 right now?
9's USC.
Okay, and who's 11?
11. So this is why I think I know why.
Okay, you said hold on. You said
11 is 12, Ole Miss and LSU just. Sorry,
K-State is 12, right?
Kansas State is 13. UCLA is 12.
Okay, if you put up LSU versus K-State right now, I guarantee you K-State would beat the shit out of LSU. LSU does not deserve to be number 10. Did you see what they did to OSU? Did you see what they did to Oklahoma State, who, by the way, was
I know, but I don't think Oklahoma. Well, and also remember, we went over it. Big emotional win after Texas. Oklahoma State, I guarantee those players were buck on Wednesday night celebrating the Texas win still. Now, still not excusable to lose 48-0. In my opinion, Oklahoma State shouldn't even be fucking ranked this week. However, they are. And we're here.
And above Tulane, by the way, which is not cool.
I think is just fucking hilarious. But Everett, this is the chip on the shoulder that you have been asking for to a degree. However, Everett, you're going to be disrespected, but Everett, at this point, from a Tulane fan perspective,
I mean, it's the first time we've been ranked.
Don't give a fuck. Don't give a if I were you, I don't give a shit about being ranked 19th right now. Right now, you're rooting for Kansas State. The fact that Kansas State is ranked 13th right now, I would be extremely happy as a Tulane fan.
To be honest,
I'd be very happy.
I don't even give a fuck what our rank is. Obviously, it's ideal to be higher, but the whole concept, the whole thing that we're fucking focused on is winning the AAC, getting the championship game, winning that, and then beating the shit out of whoever we would play in the Cotton Bowl.
No, I know, but I hate to say this, Everett, but because you're a non-Power 5 team and you already have a loss, you are guaranteed to not make the college football playoff.
Oh, I know.
But the thing is, right now, that's okay if you're Tulane. Your goal, you understand that the college football playoff is bullshit. You get that. Right now, the goal is we're gonna get to a New Year's 6 game. That's the goal right now. And Kansas State just keep pushing up and pushing up and stuff. Like right now, we're just looking at Kansas State, okay? So USC and UCLA will play each other. One of them will drop out. Kansas State will move up to at least 12, right? Okay.
Yes.
Ole Miss sucks. They'll lose again. So that's moves you up another spot, 11. Okay. So now, Everett, okay, you guys are at 11. If you beat TCU, or not TCU, or by you, Kansas State, I'm not, or they already lost TCU, didn't they?
Kansas State, yes, they have 2 losses. They lost to TCU away.
Okay, so never mind. Kansas State might be able to be in the Big 12 championship game and avenge that. If that, yes. I don't know. If that's the case,
I believe Kansas State second place in the Big 12.
Like no bullshit. If that is the case, Everett, Kansas State could end the year, in my opinion, at best, the 8th seed in the country, if they run the table from here and finish.
Which is possible, by the way. They've been playing
11-2.
Yeah, it's possible.
If they finish 11-2, I think they'll finish as the 8th seed, and if that's the case, if Tulane runs the table, there's a chance that you guys, I'm gonna be honest, just thinking about Everett, they're gonna fuck you no matter what. I feel like your like ceiling is like 12.
Thanks.
I hate to like I'm just thinking about it because like
I've said this before.
Oklahoma State
the anti-Tulane media is alive.
They're gonna put USC above you. Like they're gonna keep they're just gonna do that. Like that's just how I don't want to tell you this news, but I'm just calling it how I see it. Like your guys are gonna.
No, I know the playoff committee hates G5 teams. I mean, that's documented. It's well known. They hate G5 teams.
They let Cincy in last year, but last year was like, I mean,
they let Cincy
Ohio State to be in.
They let Cincy in, but like the difference is
it was like
was
a
undefeated.
Pity let them in though. It wasn't really like a earn it. Like it was you had to fight for it as an undefeated.
Even then they were undefeated, and even then it was not certain that they were going to make it. Only undefeated teams left in the country, and it was not certain that they were going to make it.
No, yeah, but we've been talking about the rankings for a while. But anyway, from the Ohio State fan perspective, the fact that they're the 2 seed right now. Oh,
all right. So we got a lot of trades to get through here.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I just want to talk Tennessee at Georgia. So number 1 seed, Tennessee will be going to Georgia, taking on the number 3 Bulldogs. Georgia are 8.5-point favorites for this game. Everett, though, I want to keep in mind Georgia, their best pass rusher. He was like the number 3 recruit in the country. Edge rusher Nolan Smith out for the year. So with no Nolan Smith, this could really fuck up the Georgia pass rush, in my opinion. And I really think this is the key to the game, because I think we can all agree Tennessee has a more dynamic offense than Georgia. However, Georgia has a much better defense. It really comes down to, will Georgia dominate Tennessee with their defense like people are expecting, like this 8.5-point spread suggests, or not?
Okay. Are have you said your piece with? I know it seems like you have something more to say, but if we switch to the NFL, I do have important breaking Vikings news.
Okay. I'll finish my thing real quick and we'll get there. So I think Tennessee will win this game if Hendon gets that time, and with no Nolan Smith, that really helps them. However, and with that, I don't think Tennessee needs to run the ball that well, because I think it's Hendon time. And I think he's kind of on his Heisman mode right now. And I think he will be converting some bullshit 3rd and medium, 3rd and longs, where he doesn't really need that run game to set him up. And he'll just be converting 2nd and 10s. And you'll be like, what the fuck? And they just get the chains moving. But Hendon Hooker, on most sports books, he is the Heisman favorite. And I think it's well-deserved. I think he should be over CJ Stroud. I said that in our pre-talk, but I really want Tennessee to win this game. I said that last week also. I'm rooting for Tennessee, Ohio State. I think as college football fans, we deserve to see the 2 best offenses go up against each other. But however, I don't know who the fuck is guarding Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington.
Apparently nobody.
I don't know who's guarding them. So this is my final take on the game. If you think Georgia is going to win this game, I think they're going to cover 2. Don't feel ashamed laying the -8.5. If you think Tennessee is going to cover, they're not only going to cover, it's going to be money line. So if you want to bet Tennessee, bet the fucking money line. Don't be a bitch. Bet them to win the fucking game. Don't bet spread. Okay? Because in my opinion, if Georgia wins this game, it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be a 10-point plus easy win, embarrassing loss for Tennessee. But it's either a Georgia nasty win or Tennessee win. I don't think Tennessee covers and loses. I don't think that's a scenario in this game. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got though. Give me the Vikings breaking news.
Breaking Vikings update. We're going to transition to the NFL with this. Very important news for the Vikings versus the Bills in 2 weeks. Might be the game of the year, the most important game on these teams' schedules, assuming this week both win. The Vikings game had the possibility to be flexed to Sunday Night Football for Vikings versus Bills in Buffalo. The game was not flexed. We get 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. It is time to rock and motherfucking roll. It is Kirk Cousins season.
Vikings
Cousins is going to be unleashed.
Season. Vikings are covering, and I guarantee because the Bill. Everett, what do you think the spread for that game will be? Predict it right now. When is that game also? How many weeks away is that?
2 weeks.
Predict the spread right now. We'll check back on this.
Bills minus 5.5.
Okay. In Buffalo?
Actually, that doesn't make sense. I never see a 5.5 spread.
There's a 5.5 spread this week.
Really?
Colts at Patriots. Patriots minus 5.5.
I'd say maybe 6.5. I might say 6.5.
I'm not disrespecting you. The Bills are just
I know
Vegas loves the Bills so much.
Vegas loves the Bills.
-7.
Vegas had the Packers and the Bills.
They just love them.
They had the Packers and the Bills that game. They had Bills minus 11.
And it's at home there too.
They had the Bills minus 11.
In Minnesota, I think it'd be -3 Buffalo. And
I'm not trying to disrespect that. No. I agree with that. And with that, the thing is I will say that it's in Buffalo, and you get points for that, right?
Buffalo
a great fan base. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
But not every NFL stadium gets that home boost.
Minnesota, no, I know. Minnesota and Buffalo have two of the best fan bases in the entire NFL. With that said,
Definitely both are top.
I know Buffalo's fans pack the stadium, but Minnesota has probably the best traveling fan base in the entirety of the NFL. So expect to see a lot of purple there in 2 weeks. With that said, since I will have to see what happens this week.
I mean, you'll be there, so
I will not be there. Unfortunately, I'll be there in spirit, though. But since this past week, the Bills were minus 11 versus the Packers. I'm just going to expect the Bills are still going to be favored, and I don't think people are still giving the Vikings credit. Like I said, I think they could win versus the Chiefs or versus the Texans by the same amount. It really doesn't matter. So that's why I think the Bills are going to be favored by at least a touchdown. But big news that Vegas needs to consider there with it being a 1 p.m. game now.
No, dead ass.
That might be the most important game.
You might want to hammer, because now you're into betting content. Like maybe you give out the Everett. Actually, we could do this live on the pod too. I want you to start giving out some Viking specific prop bets. Like Ohio State, I'm not a betting man. I'm not 21, but I've looked at the lines and thought to myself, like a couple of these wide receiver prop lines are pretty easy for Emeka Egbuka and Marv. So
I have to do some research. I have to do some research.
So we're about to get into a new little toy that the Vikings got, but you could give out some Jay Jetta's props. And hey, I know you don't want to root for it, but sometimes you can tell us when you think the under will hit for like a Dalvin Cook rushing receiver. Hey, I'm not saying you need to put it, but you could at least be like, hey, this is a game where
if you want that, you
don't need to put it in, but hey, just let me know.
If you want that, I can tell you that unfortunately for our listeners, unless we start doing at least a Saturday recording episode and same day post, they will not be able to get it because the prop bets do not come out until 48 hours prior to the game.
True, but Everett, we're going 10x right now, and
if you want a lock of the week, I'll give it to you. I'll give you two.
I was a little bit of a baby bitch and didn't want to record on a Saturday, but if that's what it's gonna take, to get 15K views every week on the talk, we're gonna fucking do it.
I
baby.
mean,
We're gonna
let
do
me
it. I'll do
lock
it.
and load. Let me roll. Last week I said this last episode. Lock of the week smashed. Travis Etienne smashed. We're not going to talk about the other two. But this week we're
Dante
going to be.
Foreman smash.
That's my lock of the week. That was my lock of the week.
Also, I want you to dive into some ATTS bets, some anytime touchdown scores. Those.
Oh
those
yeah,
are
no, I'm about to
tasty.
give you that one right
and
now.
I also love
I
some
don't I don't
double
know.
dips.
I don't
Two
know.
touchdown in a single game.
I
Those
don't
are
know.
also fun.
You want to let me speak?
Sorry. I'm giving you some ideas.
If you want one right now, and I'll give you a lock. It's not even out yet. TJ Hockenson, anytime touchdown this weekend.
What would you guess the plus odds on that would be?
Plus 145.
I was gonna say somewhere between 130 and like 180.
I think 145.
Yeah, I think that's very
but
fair.
All right. So with that said, one of the
Let's
most
talk about some
prolific
trades.
The most prolific and shocking trade of the day. Minnesota.
Yeah, when I woke up, I had 3 texts from you just like, oh my God. I'm like, oh wow, the trade deadline is moving. I woke up late. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was expecting probably like Mike Gesicki or something. I knew that there were definite rumors of the Vikings trading for a larger tight end, a more vertical threat.
You actually did say
end.
Mike. Shit. But okay.
But
TJ Hawk.
The Vikings trade in division for TJ Hockenson, and that is the JMO Williams trade paying off right there, letting the Lions
Williams involved,
letting the Lions and getting into conversation with the Lions in the draft and getting in their good graces by letting them trade up from 32 to 14, taking the Vikings pick to get their receiver of the future and landing those foundational bricks.
Your pick at 12.
Landing those foundational bricks between the GMs of the Lion and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah of the Vikings.
A little bit of a partnership in the
we got a little partnership.
Okay.
So with that said, all right, the Vikings,
the Detroit Vikings,
the Vikings and
Minnesota Lions.
That's
the Viking Lions.
No.
Lion Vikings.
No, nothing affiliated. I love the Lions, but they are a little baby boy in comparison.
The Minnesota Vikings supported by Dan Campbell. How about that?
The Lions can be the Vikings charity foundation.
Somebody with the Detroit Lions has to be involved in the name with the Minnesota Vikings because you guys are fucking conspiring together.
But okay, it's just against the Packers.
You guys just want to take down the Packers. No. I mean, but fair
just
game.
Ensuring,
fuck the Packers.
Just ensuring. I mean, hey, the Packers fucked themselves today. They didn't trade for a wide receiver. Anyway,
I mean, you guys don't even.
All right, so the Vikings traded for TJ Hockenson, right? The Vikings, in order to acquire TJ Hockenson as well as a 2023 4th-round pick and a conditional 2024 4th-round pick, they got 2 4th-round picks out of this with TJ Hockenson. Keep that in mind. They traded away 1 2023 2nd-round pick and 1 2024 3rd-round pick. So a 2nd and a 3rd for TJ Hockenson, a 4th-rounder this year, and a possible 4th-rounder the next year.
So I mean, holy shit.
Keep in mind the Lions, I'm going to assume also, and are expected their 4th-round pick is going to be at the very beginning of that round, which basically gives it 3rd-round margins, and the expected value of those picks, essentially the difference between that 2nd and 3rd and those 4th and 4th is equivalent to a 6th-round pick. That's the difference, is a 6th-round pick.
Everett, I have a fun fact. Everett, guess how old TJ Hockenson is?
I believe he is 26.
He is 25 years old.
Oh yeah. Also, just want to keep in mind, the Lions are on due for all of TJ Hockenson, or most of TJ Hawkinson's contract this year. So he's only on salary on the Vikings for, I think, about $690,000. The 5th-year contract extension was picked up by the Lions, so they have him next year. They signed him to an extension. All that stuff on the cap gets wiped out. He's going to be here for a while. Just want to say, that the Lions, got obliterated in this trade.
I'm
And
just
I am
confused what they did.
I think they're confused what they did as well.
Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift.
Now, what I will
guess
say
Jamal
is
Williams
that
gotta be sitting there like, wait,
that
what
gives
are we doing?
that gives a big window to DeAndre Swift,
But
Jamal
then
Williams,
again, they were
and
doing
Amon-Ra
nothing
St.
with
Brown
that
might be
core.
Amon-Ra St. Brown might be the biggest winner of
It's the
that trade.
defense that sucks.
But I got a little stat line for us right here.
Says the guy who owns Amon-Ra in fantasy as well. Keep that in mind.
Yes,
guys,
I do.
But
I do own him.
Go on.
But here's my little stat line for you. All right. TJ Hockenson on the Lions has a 17.9% target share when he was on the Lions up until this point. Obviously, he's on the Vikings now. The Vikings in total for all their tight end targets combined equaled 18.9% target share. For Irv Smith Jr., 12.5% target share. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But with that said, I think that having TJ Hockenson there, having him be a weapon, by the way, he has the longest reception of a tight end this year, has the most targets and receptions over 50 and 40 yards and 30 yards, by the way, by a tight end this year. He is a versatile weapon. And on top of that, he might be one of the best pass blocking tight ends in the league. So that opens up.
No. No one cares about pass. He's one of the best run blocking tight ends ever.
Pass ever. Well, that's what I meant, run blocking.
Well, I mean, we don't want this man to be pass blocking. We want him running routes ever. Ever. I got some numbies for you on him real quick. This is to support you. So TJ Hawk in his rookie year posted we're going off PFF rankings, which are bad, I know. Okay, let's just say this. In TJ Hawk's first and second seasons, he had very similar run blocking PFF numbers to George Kittle. Okay, very, very similar. Last season, his numbers took a sharp decline and was significantly worse than his rookie year, even. But I'm just going to blame that on the Lions offense. And fresh start, reset, TJ Hawk's going to be back into it. So I think you guys just got one of the best run blocking tight ends in the league. And I think that's one factor about TJ Hockenson that really goes unnoticed. And I think in today's NFL, that run blocking game out of your tight end is extremely important.
Oh, it is
Dalvin
very
Cook
important.
Is going to be very, very happy
now,
about this move.
The one thing that I want to add as well, TJ Hockenson is 6'5" and 244 pounds. Irv Smith Jr. is 6'2". He has
got a bigger body,
3 inches on Irv Smith. And I understand Irv Smith, running routes. Don't give a fuck. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought it was the Irv Smith breakout year. I just had the wrong tight end.
You had the right position.
I had the right position, the wrong player. Vikings tight ends, one of them was going to break out this year. I said it was Irv Smith.
Because I'm going to be honest.
Little did I know that the Lions tight end was actually going to be the Vikings breakout tight end of the year.
I remember that. I think it was the Eagles game when Irv Smith was like really set up. He dropped like a would-be touchdown.
Yeah, that was the Eagles game. That would have changed the game.
Like what that game told me, like it showed me like, and especially to go up against the Eagles, like KOC in his head was thinking like, I can dial up shit to this tight end right here. Unfortunately, Irv Smith isn't that guy. So KOC is like, if we want to take this offense to the next level to beat the Eagles, get that second option in that passing.
The best thing is
got a little banged up last week too, but
yeah, he's got a contusion.
To get Hawk at that tight end spot, that adds, in my opinion, like a safety blanket valve.
Yeah, like the best thing of this whole
and the
situation.
Run game too. He helped
TJ Hockenson. The Vikings were looking for a player to add to their arsenal, their receiving threats. And people thought maybe Brandon Cooks, maybe Odell. Odell's still an option, by the way, if the Vikings get Odell. But
I think he wants to be a little more flashy. I'm gonna be honest. Like
I'm just saying,
Miami.
In general.
Oh my God, Odell to the Dolphins, Everett.
He's not going to the Dolphins. They don't have enough money or ability to spread it around. But can watch for that. But
he's only going to a popular place.
He wants to go to contender. He doesn't care about popularity. No, doesn't care. I guarantee you doesn't care.
When he got traded to the Browns, he said New York sent them to die.
Let me finish.
New York sent him there to die.
Baker fucking Mayfield.
and the fact that it was Cleveland. That definitely
Nobody
plays a
wants to
factor
go to
into
Cleveland when they're literally
Exactly.
worst historic franchise. I'm not talking about Cleveland. I'm talking about Minnesota.
No, but Cleveland sucks.
Are you calling Minnesota Cleveland right now? Because I guarantee you're going to get some heat for that.
No.
All right, so then shut up.
It's not LA. It's not, dude. It's Odell Beckham Jr.
He doesn't give a fuck about LA. Like,
it's Odell Everett.
No, he wants. The
We're
reason
not
he went to
talking about.
the reason why he went to LA last year was because they were a Super Bowl contending team, and he put them over the top to win the Super Bowl. He didn't go to them specifically because it was LA. That's an additive.
The LA is what put it over the top. There's other Super Bowl contenders. LA, like, okay, at the end of the day, yes, he wants to go to a team that contends.
If the Rams were in St. Louis, if the Rams were in St. Louis last year, and they had the same,
there.
No, he still would have. I guarantee.
No,
I guarantee.
No, he wouldn't have.
Regardless,
he would have played for the Bucks, bro.
Regardless. TJ Hockenson, the Vikings wanted to add a vertical threat.
He would have been a Buck. You know he would have.
No. What the fuck? All right.
St. Louis?
Yes, he wants to go to a contender.
He would not have. And also, St. Louis would also never have attracted those players in the first place. But
if they were fucking winning, that's the argument. Anyways, the Vikings wanted to trade for a vertical threat, a wide receiver threat, something that would add to their passing game, and everybody thought it was going to be a wide receiver. The addition of TJ,
I'm just saying the Odell thing.
The addition of TJ Hockenson not only fulfills that threat, that vertical, that extra passing part that they wanted, it also gives an incredible increase to the run blocking scheme that desperately needs it, especially along the edges. I think that that's an incredible pickup. And the best part of all of it, dude literally looks like a Viking.
TJ Hawk.
TJ Hawk. Yeah.
Not Odell. He
Odell
looks,
I don't think
like an intimidating, scary man. He looks like he just plays NFC, AFC North football. I mean, he's an Iowa guy.
Let's get to the rest of these trades real quick.
Yeah. So real quick, before we actually break down the cool ones, just something that I found interesting. We had some running back movement on teams where they just have uncertain running back rooms. So the Bills acquired Nyheim Hines from the Colts, and the Colts got Zach Moss and then a conditional 5th round 2023 pick. And then the Dolphins got Jeff Wilson from the Niners for a 5th round pick after the Niners got McCaffrey. Also, McCaffrey fantasy owners, you should be like, okay, so it's really just CMC's backfield now.
Yeah.
At this point, you're just praying Debo doesn't take his carries. But okay, let's get into some cool trades. Let's go in chronological order, okay, after the TJ Hockenson trade.
Well, real quick, just going to shout out Roquan Smith getting shipped off by the Bears to the Ravens before the TJ Hockenson trade.
I thought we brought that up the last episode, but I guess not.
Did not.
Roquan Smith to the Ravens. The Bears acquired AJ Klein, a linebacker, and then a 2023 2nd-round pick and a 5th round pick in 2023. In my opinion, Ravens, I wouldn't be giving up a 2nd and a 5th.
It's okay. The Bears did something. The Bears did something.
But then again, Roquan's like 25.
Yeah. Also, the Bears did something stupider. They took that 2nd round pick, turned around, traded it to the Steelers for Chase Claypool. Keep in mind.
Yeah.
So Cooper went for a 5th.
That was what I was getting
into. And DeAndre Hopkins for a 2nd.
Bears get Claypool. If you're a Steelers fan, I'd be hyped right now. And I mean, George Pickens fan, holy shit. I'm only thinking about my fantasy team. George Pickens' value is through the roof right now, especially because Pickett only targets him. But yeah, for that trade, I think what the Bears have done, moving off of Robert Quinn, moving off of Roquan Smith, trading for Claypool, what that tells me is Justin Fields is their guy. And as an Ohio State guy, I love to see that. Over the past month, Justin Fields, in my opinion, has really stepped up his game. I've been blown away how NFL Twitter is like actually came around to the belief that, hey, Justin Fields was sentenced to the wall in Game of Thrones by being drafted by the Bears. Like,
yeah, you want to steal my quote right there.
I was referencing you on purpose. People are coming around to the fact that Justin Fields has negative help. And he's actually being hurt by what the media thinks of him by playing for the Bears. And people have came around to that. But I think the Bears, these trades this year, it's not going to happen. Like the Bears, it's in their best interest to lose every game out. But the fact that they're 3-5 right now, I mean, I thought they would be 1-7, maybe 2-6.
Well, keep in mind,
3-5.
two of their wins.
And it's been a frisky 3-5.
Keep in mind, 2 of their wins were in monsoon weather conditions.
Still wins.
Wins
Gritty
are still
wins.
wins, but
Gritty
it
wins,
was
Everett.
monsoon.
Hey, you're the one who said it.
Wins are wins. No, I am saying that. I am also
now I
saying
know
that
it's the Bears, so you want to naturally hate on them, and I get that. But Everett, the Bears suck. Okay, give them some fucking slack. All right, that's like if I wanted to beat up on Rutgers. All right, I know that we play them every year, but I'm
giving
not
the Bears too much
bully.
credit. You're giving the Bears too much credit. They're like
the
Nebraska.
Bears suck ass, dude.
The Bears
What
are
do you
Nebraska.
mean?
You're giving
you
them
just
too much
want to
credit.
roast Nebraska. That's what you turn this segment into. Holy shit, Everett. All right. Everett hates Nebraska. Jesus. I didn't know that was the case, but okay, more trades. The Dolphins, Everett, acquired Bradley Chubb and a 2025 fifth-round pick. That player might not even be in college yet who gets drafted there.
They managed to trade the Trey Lance first-round pick, the 3rd overall pick in that draft for also technically they traded Laramie Tunsil for this as well. Among other people, they traded the 1 first-round pick that they had for Trey Lance.
The Dolphins acquired a pick from a player who isn't even in college.
They managed to trade Trey Lance pick into Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb.
No, not Trey Lance, Laramie Tunsil.
No, like that pick he got from Laramie Tunsil went into the pick that came about for Trey Lance. And then that pick came about and ended up being Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and
the Niners, Trey Lance. The Dolphins had that pick. The Niners traded up for it.
They traded 3 first-round picks for that.
So, yeah, I mean, Laramie Tunsil, bon God, wow, you have done wonders to the city of Miami, my man. Enjoy your time in Houston because it probably fucking sucks, brother.
All right. I've got one trade here.
Last trade we got to go over. Last trade.
Yeah, you got it. Mine or yours? I got it. Okay. I told you not to look at any information regarding this man.
I just saw the details of the trade. That's it.
Calvin Ridley has been traded from the Falcons to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what the best part about that trade is?
I'm seeing some conditional picks.
No.
Second for Ridley.
The best part about the Calvin Ridley trade is that Calvin Ridley was suspended because he bet on the Falcons to beat the Jaguars. He is now on the Jacksonville Jaguars after betting on them to lose versus the Falcons and getting suspended for it.
So my only follow-up question is, what was the result of that game? We need to know.
The Falcons won. The Falcons won.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay. Now, it would have been really funny if you bet on the Jags to beat the Falcons. That would have been fucking hilarious. However, that didn't happen. Interesting. Okay, Calvin Ridley on the Jags. Okay, this is another thing this is what this tells me. Okay, Calvin Ridley's not playing this year. Okay, Jags give up a conditional 5th and 2nd. And Everett and I went over
can become I believe a 3rd rounder if he is re-signed to the team. Maybe it's a 2nd rounder if he's re-signed to the team.
Okay, so with those conditional picks, so are those worst case scenarios, the 5th and the 2nd?
I believe are they both conditional? I think it's both just
conditional.
Yes. So that means that
best case they get better for Atlanta. Yeah.
I believe it's best case. Yes. Best case. Yes.
Yeah. So okay, with that in mind, what this tells me is Jacksonville, I mean, they go in on Christian Kirk, they fuck up the wide receiver market, Everett. Rip to the Justin Jefferson contract that you have to give up next year. You could thank Christian Kirk for that. But Christian Kirk reset the wide receiver market. The Jags went all in on wide receivers. Now they get Calvin Ridley. Everett, what does this tell you about the Jacksonville Jaguars' opinion on Trevor Lawrence?
Two things. One, I'll give that in a second. I have something for the Vikings that I forgot to mention. I'm going to go through after this, and then we can wrap up the episode with our picks. But for that, it tells me that the Jaguars are all in on T-Law. I mean, he is obviously the next Peyton Manning. People have been saying that since he's been in high school.
I thought he was, but
still, I mean, to be fair, he needs those offensive weapons to be able to develop. He hasn't had the amount of success that people have wished upon him. He hasn't been in the situation that people have wished upon him. So I think getting Calvin Ridley, who arguably was one of the best receivers in the NFC South last year in the NFC before he was suspended, I think this is a great improvement. Obviously, Christian Kirk's having a great year this year too. So having both of them, I think that makes it very dynamic. If they add help in on the O-line, maybe an additional wide receiver on that offense, I think you're looking at one of the better offenses in the AFC. Travis Etienne is starting to look like a phenomenal back
this year. Like
they're 2-6, but they've been through the ringer. They've through the ringer.
But the year's done. So, and I can't believe my Chargers got smoked by this 2-6 team, Everett.
I think that they're still going to win some games. I think they're still going to win some games throughout the year. I don't think that they're going to.
My Bolts or the Jags?
No. I don't know what's up.
Definitely not my Bolts.
The Bolts might not.
Definitely not. Yeah, we might go winless for the rest of the year. Holy fuck!
I mean, if they really want Sean Payton, you will. But
I really want Sean Payton.
But I don't think the Jaguars are going to have a top 5 pick this year. I think they might be top 10, maybe just outside of that, but I don't think they're going to have a top 5 pick. I think they're going to be good enough to get outside of that. All right, one last thing that I want to say about the Vikings, by the way, with this TJ Hockenson trade, with you bringing up the Jettis contract extension that is up due pretty soon, and with the
fuck you, Christian Kirk, but go on.
With the although I
literally ruined the wide receiver.
Justin Jefferson deserves every single penny of the contract he's about to get.
True, but it's gonna be inflated.
You know what? Just give Justin Jefferson a percentage of the team. I don't give a fuck.
He's gonna be the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fine.
Just know that. You can flex about it for a little, but it's gonna hurt you when you look at who's playing right guard next year.
Let me
it's
finish.
Gonna hurt you in that.
Let me finish. With that said, I firmly believe, and I tweeted this out earlier after thinking about it, we're going to have to extend TJ Hockenson with the amount of money that's left in our cap for next year. And I don't think that Kwesi really wants to do restructures. Kirk Cousins will either be shipped off at the end of this year and have his contract taken off the books for the Vikings, or he is going to get another contract extension and the Vikings are going to be in Kirk Cousins' hell until he retires. And it's going to be a Bobby Bonilla situation. It is one of those two situations.
Everett, for your sanity, I pray you only have Kirk.
Now, Lions, may I offer?
I remember when Kirk signed with you. And my God, that was a while ago.
2017. After the
5
and 5.
It's like the Titanic meme. It's been 86 years or whatever the fuck it is.
It's been 100 years. You know, you ever see Aladdin? Right? Please, God,
I'll be honest, I can't actually tell you the plot of that.
But yes, there's a scene in Aladdin where the genie, I don't remember there's a scene in Aladdin where the genie comes out of the lamp and he goes, "I have been asleep for 10,000 years." It's like that.
It probably hit home for me when I was 6.
You know, whoever has the first round pick, especially if it's the Lions, pleasure doing business with you. Can I interest you in a first rounder and Kirk Cousins for Bryce Young? Is that possible?
Now, I was just thinking, goddamn, if you guys had Justin Fields right now, holy fuck, Everett. Because I think Justin Fields has proved to the world. I think now NFL fans are going to start backing him, which makes me so happy.
Do you ever think that Justin Fields...
The narrative might flip that Ohio State quarterbacks get fucked, Everett. What if the narrative flips? But I think CJ Stroud is going to be fucking awful in the NFL. He's going to go to the Texans, and he's going to literally get sacked every play and be a bitch and fumble 80% of the time he gets sacked. It's going to happen.
I wish that Justin Fields was on the Vikings. It was this close. Rick Spielman is a bitch. He's bitch made.
The thing is, you're still good enough to make a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Oh no, I know, I agree.
Is the key to take it off the top. Like he's the key
but
to
here's the
make
thing.
you the Eagles right now. How
If
people
Justin
view
Fields
them.
is here, is this Justin Fields' third year or second year? Second.
Year 2.
Year 2. Year 2, normally a lot of progression. If Justin Fields had the weapons that are on the Vikings right now, oh my lord. Oh my
If he had a Justin Jefferson, a fucking Adam Thielen, and a Dalvin Cook, and a fucking TJ Hockenson now? Oh my, Justin! It looked like
Now,
the
look,
Ohio State
don't get me
offense,
wrong.
brother.
Don't get me
and
wrong.
a KOC.
The
Everett.
pick
You guys fumbled the fucking
that we
bag.
used in that draft, we got our left tackle who has been one of, if not the
Darisaw?
best, yes, the best left tackle in all of football this year.
Now, I as a former lineman, I love that pick. Don't get me wrong.
So,
I love that. I love.
He will be
but
a
I'm saying
perennial all-pro.
no.
So
Overall, shit. If Justin Fields is on the team right now, maybe the team wouldn't be 6-1. Maybe it'd be worse without that left tackle spot. Because I'll be honest, Justin, I mean, when he has to run for his life, it's not pretty. But it's just, you have to just imagine if Justin Fields was the quarterback of the Vikings and he was throwing to Jay Jettas, Adam Thielen,
just basically
handing it off to
you're imagining.
Cook.
We're imagining as if the team remains exactly the same.
That sounds like the Ohio State offense to me, Everett. That's what that sounds like. Like you guys should hire Ryan Day and Brian Hartline while you're at it. But
I think Brian Hartline might be an NFL wide receivers coach pretty damn soon, actually.
Whoa, hella disrespectful. You think he would be a position coach? He's taking offensive coordinator or nah? Don't
Miami
disrespect
Dolphins?
my man like that. Don't disrespect him like that. He's not going to be a position coach in the NFL. He probably gets paid more being a position coach at Ohio State. In the NFL.
Wouldn't be surprising. Okay, all right. We got through all that.
We got to go through our picks.
Picks. Last week, Grant barely squeaked it out versus me. He went 10-5, or I went 10-5. He went 11-4. Which means I once again will be reclaiming the title of reading my picks first. My overall record is 65-58. Grant, you are at?
I am at 70-53. So
5-game
difference
here.
5-game difference season out of the
both of us over 500 by a large margin.
Yeah.
So we'll both take those wins. With that said, the games of this week: Eagles, Texans, Vikings, Commanders, Chargers, Falcons, Dolphins, Bears, Panthers, Bengals, Packers, Lions, Colts, Patriots, Bills, Jets, Raiders, Jaguars, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks, Titans, Chiefs, and Ravens, Saints. Here are my picks. I almost want to pick the upset and the Eagles game. I almost do, but I'm not. Eagles, Vikings, Chargers, Dolphins, Bengals, Packers, Colts, Bills, Jaguars, Cardinals, Bucks, Titans, Ravens.
So there was a good amount of things there that may have swayed me a little bit to make me get on your side. But no, I'm not changing my picks. I'm doing what I initially thought.
I was about to say, what shit did I say that would have swayed you? I just gave my
there
pick.
There was just
the way that I articulated
it, where I was on the fence about some games and I want to go the other way. And with you saying it, I was like, I mean, bad on me, but I just hear a second opinion. I'm like, oh, if he likes it too, fuck, it's a good pick. it's a bad trait, but we all have it. But okay, here are my picks. Eagles, Vikings, Bengals, Bills, however, Jets plus 13. Patriots, Jags, Dolphins, Packers. I'm picking the Chargers, but Falcons. But I'm picking the Chargers, but Falcons. Seahawks, Buccaneers, Chiefs, Ravens. Now, the Bucks, I know they're favorited, but that's an upset pick, picking the Bucks. Okay,
I agree with that.
Pick.
I agree with that.
That's an upset pick.
Now, I also want to add something. The Packers and the Lions. I legitimately think the Lions are going to win this game. I legitimately think the Lions might win this game.
If you're going to bet the Lions, take the money line. Fuck your points. Take the money line.
But I realized Aaron Rodgers is pissed. The Lions just shipped away their best offensive player that has been healthy this year. The Lions have Jared Goff
Is
at
Amon
quarterback.
Ra even healthy? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think he is now, but DeAndre Swift is not.
I mean, he's on your fantasy team. You would know. So
yeah, he is healthy now. But he hasn't been for most of the season.
Okay.
I just don't think that the Packers are gonna. If the Packers lose this game, I think it's done. I don't think Aaron Rodgers gives a shit the rest of the season. I think that I already don't think he gives a shit. But if they lose this game, that is it. He is done. He doesn't care anymore.
No, I mean, I already think, I agree. This is the game. They win this game. Aaron's like, okay, I might be back. Even then, he's not fully
also want to know
if they lose this game, he's fully out. Okay,
he gives
that's
no
what
fucks.
This game is about.
He might actually tell. Yes. He might tell LaFleur to start Jordan Love some of these games.
Yeah, actually,
like might actually just say start Jordan Love. I don't.
I might take that Fox deal now. Like,
give him some reps. But also want to add Panthers and Bengals.
I love Panthers plus 7.
Very, very interesting.
I love plus
game.
7.
The Panthers, I agree with that. This is my spread pick of the week. Panthers
lock
plus 7.
Of the week. Not lock, but spread.
Not lock. Spread game. Spread lock of the week.
How about underdog spread of the week?
Underdog spread of the week.
Underdog
spread of the week. Panthers plus 7. I think
you
that
do multiple of these, Everett. You're 21 now. You're a big boy.
I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy now.
I'm not.
But
I'm a little boy.
Based on the way that the Bengals played against the Browns, based on the way that the Bengals have been playing without Jamar Chase, I find it, and they made no improvements to the O-line during the trade deadline. Keep that in mind. Based on the way that the Panthers played last week, it is incredibly difficult for me to firmly sit here and say the Bengals are going to win. I honestly was sitting here when I was making these picks. I took a second. I wrote Panthers down and I deleted it and said Bengals just because I can't fade the Bengals. I just can't do it. But my God, the Panthers looked good last week. They lost, but they lost a game that nobody gave them a chance to win to begin with. And they're starting TJ Walker at quarterback.
I was very impressed. The Panthers' grit is real. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but Christian McCaffrey is a locker room cancer. There's no other way to explain this, that McCaffrey was the problem.
Also, I want to add, I did see, speaking of the Panthers, I did see a possible trade between the Rams and the Panthers. The Rams were offering multiple first-round picks, probably for
McCaffrey?
For Brian Burns. They were offering multiple first-round picks, which probably would mean the first-round picks are for whatever child's in first grade right now and 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, those are like 2038.
Those are like 2036. And then
they're actually drafting kids that might have not been born yet. But yeah, go on.
They also offered Cam Akers. And I honestly do not see a world in which the Panthers, including this offseason, will trade for a running back that is the most replaceable position. On top of that, Donta Foreman looks like a top running back in the league last week.
Rip Chuba, but who cares, bro? Because it's Foreman season.
It's Foreman season. Foreman is on deck. Foreman is on duty. I was gonna try to make a Foreman joke, like construction foreman, but couldn't think of anything construction related. I was not the construction child. That would be my brother. But shout out to
Oh, the brother podcast episode is gonna be fucking amazing.
We gotta get Parker on.
Can I give my quick? I just got quick comments or some games. Okay. I love Panthers plus 7. For Panthers at Bengals. For Bills at Jets, minus 13 Buffalo. Dude, take the fucking Jets plus 13. Okay, at home. I'm not saying they're winning, but plus 13, fucking take it. But maybe I'm stupid because Vegas is begging you to take the Jets. They are on their knees sucking your balls. Take the Jets plus 13. But I think this might be a double flip. I think this might be a no. The Jets plus 13. This is too much of a bag. I'm taking the Bills. Take the fucking Jets. Take the Jets. That's too many points.
Take the Jets. All right.
Too many points.
With that, I think we've been
wait, not done yet.
Okay.
I
I'll give
love
you one
Colts
less.
plus. I love Colts plus 5.5.
I
The
agree. I picked
Chargers
them.
will make Marcus Mariota look like Patrick Mahomes this Sunday.
Keep in
Falcons
mind,
money line.
Colts fired their OC.
I love Colts fired their OC.
New OC this week.
Even better. Now Bill has no idea what he's looking at. I love Titans plus 12.5. And my lock of the week, Ravens -3. They will have 10 days of rest going into their Monday night game against Saints. My lock of the week, Ravens -3. Ravens.
No,
Lamar Jackson's going 6-3. You
lock,
said he was the MVP, and I'm buying into that.
My lock
Ravens.
My lock of the week, Vikings -3.5. How the fuck the Vikings are only 3.5 point favorites versus the commies, the Commanders.
Disrespect.
But
this is what that tells me, the -3.5.
Like I said,
begging you to take the Vikings, which makes me think Vegas thinks this is a slip-up game for you. That's what that tells me.
I don't think that. I think they're just buying into the fact that the Vikings always win by literally 3. With that said,
could be that as well.
With that said, we've been rambling for a minute, so thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Rate us 5 stars. Subscribe to us on 6 stars. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Listen to us wherever you go, specifically on airlines, on Delta. Thanksgiving is coming up pretty soon. That means you're going to be flying. You're going to be traveling. Play us out loud. Take the speaker, the JBL, the Sony speaker with you on the plane.
Play it out loud. Promote
Turn it on and blast
Let
it.
everyone know who we are.
Up and down the aisles. Let them
Share
know.
our
Make
TikToks.
sure that they're all. Make sure that airdrop us everywhere.
Yes. Download our TikToks and share them to the whole plane. Please.
Airdrop us.
Do us a fucking favor, guys. I mean, we're not asking for much, just for you to really go out of your way and make really awkward public interactions. That's all we're asking for. That's it. That's all we're asking for. Just for you to go extremely out of your way to make a difference for people that you may or may not know. But hey, we expect that out of you guys. And hey, hopefully you return the favor. But peace and love, everybody. We love everybody. Everett, before you give your last closing comments, I just want to say, pray for my Chargers this weekend, because we might get shit on by the Falcons. Like, no chin Arthur Smith might shit on us this weekend, Everett.
Give your local Chargers fan a shoulder to cry on this year. Maybe
you probably don't know a local Chargers fan, Everett. So you want to take another jab at me there? All right.
At least send a nice big tip to some random bar in Los Angeles.
Pray for
San Diego,
my boys, because I think we're about to get boat raced.
All right, but thank you guys so much for listening and watching us. Follow us on all socials, including YouTube at Waterboy Pod. With that, Waterboy's out.